Welcome back to A Shaman in Suburbia. It's good to see you all again. On today's episode, I would like for us to talk a little bit about how we are nature. A lot of times we have this perception, or at least I did, that I am human and I am here and nature is out there and it's something different for me. And I can choose to be in harmony with nature, but I was still seeing some separateness there. What I've come to learn, or remember maybe, is that we are nature. And I think that the way that I have actually remembered that is by observing nature so much and just feeling so in tune when I'm in nature. I've read some really neat things on it, but today I'd really like to talk a little bit about some quotes that I have found. Really, some of them are over centuries. I'm going to start with a more recent one first, though. I tend to write things on all sorts of stuff. This looks like it was a utilities bill. Electric. So the first one that I wrote down is from a woman, Candace O'Denver. She does a lot of talks on finding your balance and resting as awareness, or resting as your true nature, basically. And she says, we are nature looking at itself, which I think is really awesome. And I also wrote down from a particular talk of hers, moment to moment, you are nature's intelligence. Touching itself is the perception of being human. That's what's going on, nothing else. I just thought that was really beautiful. I had to rewind it and listen to it a few times so I could write that down. We have known this for centuries, though, we as humans, that we are nature. And there have been some great spiritual teachers and wise people who have stated this. And one of my favorite wise people, spiritual teachers, is Lao Tzu. We attribute the writing of the Tao to Lao Tzu. And you can find the Tao, which is spelled T-A-O, even though it's pronounced with a D. You can find it easily on the internet. You just Google Tao and it comes up. So there's 81 verses written by, we think, Lao Tzu back in ancient times in China. And it's all about a way of living. And the 23rd verse is what I want to read to you today. To talk little is natural. Fierce winds do not blow all morning. A downpour of rain does not last the day. Who does this? Heaven and earth. But these are exaggerated, forced effects, and that's why they cannot be sustained. If heaven and earth cannot sustain such a forced action, how much less is man able to do? Those who follow the way become one with the way. Those who follow goodness become one with goodness. Those who stray from the way and goodness become one with failure. If you conform to the way, its power flows through you. Your actions become those of nature, your ways those of heaven. Open yourself to the Tao and trust your natural responses. Then everything will fall into place. Perfect. Simple, sweet, lots of references back to nature to see ourselves in the way that we function. We're just like a little microcosm of nature. So some of the ways that I am reminded of that is thinking about how there's always seasons literally around us. Now, again, I live in Florida. We don't have a lot of seasonal change, but we do have tiny little bits of fall and tiny little bits of spring. And we still have trees that do release their leaves and rest a while in that winter time. And then they spring forward again in spring with the new growth. So we do see it all around us. And some of you may live in parts of the world that have more of a seasonal change, and you can really see how nature flows from summer to fall to winter to spring, and each season has its purpose. There's not one that you could just get rid of and everything would still function in a balanced way. So consider that for your own life too. Just looking at the seasons. Your life will have seasons. It can't always be running full speed ahead like I see summer. Summer, you're like in your prime and you're just going and having a great time. Sometimes you need to let go of things. That's our fall. Or autumn, you let go of things that aren't serving you anymore and release them with grace and ease, hopefully, gratitude that helps it go more smoothly. Then winter is that time of rest and recovery, laying dormant for a little bit and gathering the energy. And then spring, you burst forward again and you start to grow and change and maybe even sprout something new that was never there before. And now we're back again to summer and we do it all again. So there's always shifts and changes. And when we look around in nature, we can also take the idea not to worry, because everything's working out the way it should. In my plants around me, I see that acorns, we have a ton of oak trees in this neighborhood, and a tiny little acorn creates an oak. That little acorn didn't sit around thinking about what might happen if it didn't become a pine tree. It just became who it is supposed to be. So I want to show you a little bit of my neighborhood today, and we're going to take a small little journey and find a spot to do a little simple meditation just to connect us back to our true nature. So follow me. Here's one of those oaks that I was talking about. We have tons of oaks in this neighborhood. This one's like a little medium-sized one. We have others that it can clearly have been here for hundreds of years, it seems. Actually, I don't really know how long oaks last, but it seems like hundreds of years. They're so big. So this one's probably like a teenager. This is one of my favorite spots in our neighborhood. It's really close to my house. It's got a beautiful pond for the water element. I've got the bushes and the trees, and sometimes we have visitors from lots of different birds. We have a ton of birds here, and even the occasional gator. Turtles too. We have cute little turtles. All right. So this will be a perfect spot. Oh, there's stuff. And I think there's a cormorant way over there sunning himself. They like to dry their wings and they'll sit on the side of the pond. Beautiful. So our pond is kind of low. It's been a little bit dry here lately, but it's still beautiful. Even some little water flowers there, maybe water hyacinths. I'm not sure exactly which ones they are. But I think this is a perfect spot for our meditation. So I'm going to take a seat. You could sit or lie down if you like. And you can take a moment to just close your eyes or maybe take a soft gaze, whatever feels right to you. Either sitting up tall through the spine though, or if you're lying down, just making sure that you're nice and straight through the spine so that you can breathe more easily. So let's take a moment to notice our breath. Inhaling in and exhaling out. And just do that a few more times on your own. And let's just set the intention that this time and space is for us to meditate on our true nature. And I'm going to read something to you while you just are here. Again, maybe with your eyes closed. Not thinking about the words that you hear, but just letting them go in. Internally, they'll be interpreted perfectly. Nature. Nature is life. Spending time close to nature is celebrating the wonder of existence. Nature is not something that can be conquered or completely understood. It will always be a mystery. You were conceived by parents, but nature is the ultimate source of your existence. Being in love with nature is true happiness. May you be truly happy. That's written by Ty Sheridan. Secrets of True Happiness. take a moment just to ponder those words, breathing in and out naturally, just being with you. Now take a moment to inhale, reach your arms all the way up if you like. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart and hold in prayer. As we close our time together today, I'd just like to say, Namaste.